Hi guys, this is Ben Schaffer doing the orientation for Funnel Builder. It's now approximately 9 o'clock where I am and very ready to get started. If you can just give me an eye so that I know someone else is out there as well, that would be very, very helpful for me. So just go to the question box, put an I or a hi or a bye, and that would be really, really helpful for me. Okay, I know that people can hear me and people are out there as well, so let's get going. First thing I'd say is if you've got any questions at any time, please feel free to put them in the question box. This is for you, this webinar. So at any time, put them in and I'll do my best to try and help you. They can be about absolutely anything, but let's try and keep them, well, kind of clean, you know what I mean? Main focus, of course, is towards Funnel Builder. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a few pages and then putting them together into a funnel. So I'm going to try and show you absolutely everything that there is to know about Funnel Builder, and hopefully in about 50 minutes you'll go, wow, didn't realize that it was so easy to use and so easy to make more money. So the first thing you do is you log into your Shopify store. Hopefully you've got Funnel Builder installed already. If you haven't, then install it. Otherwise, click on Funnel Builder and Funnel Builder will open. Now, the thing to remember is that Funnel Builder uses information, it integrates with your Shopify store. So a lot of the time, what you have in your Shopify store will have an effect on what happens within Funnel Builder. So let me give you an example. We've got a Bill Clinton watch. And you can see that the title is Bill Clinton watch. There's a subtitle, which is This is a Bill Clinton watch. There's two images, one main hero image and a sub-image as well. And there's a variant. And the variant I have created, and it's called quantity. And I've put the quantity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. And I've put different prices for each quantity. So if they buy one, it costs them $10, buy two, 17, etc., etc. So the more they buy, the cheaper it is. And obviously there is a quantity variant which is standard in Shopify, but what I've done is given the opportunity to actually get a discount with each extra purchase that they make. And this will come a bit more clear in a second, but I just wanted to point it out right now so that you do understand kind of what's going on. Everybody with me so far? Well, that's really, really good. So this is the product we're going to be creating a page about. So I'm in Funnel Builder. You can either click on Add New Page here or go to Pages and click on Add New Page. What's the date? It's now the 11th. Let's just call it the 11th. That's pretty cool. 11th, if it will let me have 3 digits. Yes, it will. Let me just show you where it says page name. That is the name that we're giving it for ourselves. Page title is actually what appears to the user when they come to the page. Product, you search for your product. So I put a C in there, Bill Clinton watch. You should always, always, always have a product attached to the page, and it's giving you a slug, which you can change if you know what that is and you want to change it. I then click on Create Page, and you've got a whole lot of different templates that you can choose from. The one we're actually going to choose is just the product page. Too fast, too slow, about right, we cool? Everybody with me? Now, a few things to notice. Firstly, that it has pulled in things like the description, the title, the main image, also the variant quantity as well. And where's that getting from here? This is the title, the description, the image, and the pricing is according to the pricing that it has here. So it's going to be using the same pricing as is in Shopify. And you'll notice, this is actually the preview, you'll notice something immediately, that we've got two quantities. One is the quantity which we just created, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and the other is the quantity which Shopify always has, which is 1 to 10. So we don't need two quantity variants. So I'm going to show you how to delete something. Anything you hover over, bin will come up, what do you call that? A trash bin, recycle bin will come up. You click on you click on it, click on remove, and that's gone. And you can do that to just about anything. And so I'm going to save that and then preview it again, and you'll see that it's now gone because we just deleted it. So now if I choose another quantity, let's say 3, you can see the price changes to $24. And look at this, if I change to 10, then also the image changed as well, because attached to 10 is this image. Okay, that's all Shopify stuff here. Nothing really new in Funnel Builder yet. And if you guess who this is, then you get an extra point. No one has yet. Maybe it's just not someone famous at all. I just can't remember actually where I got it from. Oh, it's called Stock One. No, I really don't know where it's from. Okay, okie dokie, as they say. So what I want to explain a bit now is the structure of a page in Funnel Builder. Just before going on, video has asked, you have to create the quantity 1 to 10 in Shopify, or is that already there? No, you don't have to create it. It's already there in Shopify. On any page in Shopify, they'll be allowed to choose between 1 and 10. I've just created a variant quantity because I want to give them an opportunity to get a discount if they choose more than 1. Jeremy's just asked, if you have a product with 3 color variants, would you be adding the quantity variants to each color? If you want to be doing quantity like I've done quantity and you've got 3 colors, then you would actually have 2 kinds of variants. I think, if I remember, so add variant, no. Edit options. You can add another option. So for example, if you want to color and blue, then we'll add it each time. Okay, so now we've got the color blue. And it would go along like this. I'm actually just going to refresh because I don't want to save that. Hopefully it hasn't saved. Let's see what's happened. Oh, it has. Okay, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. So let's see what's happened now, though. Okay, it hasn't brought in blue because there's just 1 choice. Okay, I want to give you, hopefully I answered both your questions. I want to give you a bit of an overview of what's going on within Funnel Builder and its page, okay? There's containers, there's rows, there's columns, and there's elements. Containers, rows, columns, and elements. And if you've done any HTML before, a container is a bit like a table, a row is like a row, a column is like a column, and an element is like something that goes in one of those columns. So elements go in columns, columns go in rows, rows goes in containers. It's a bit like if you think about a board of chess, and on a board of chess, you have 8 rows, each of 8 columns. So the board is like the container, each row is like a row, each column is like a column. And that's how a page is built up. And if you hover over pretty much anything, then you'll see it's a different color. Red is a container, or like the chessboard. Yellow is a row. Green is a column. And blue is an element. And once you start using it for about 2 minutes or something, then you should get very used to it. It's not difficult to learn, especially after seeing this webinar. The other thing to notice is that within a row, you have a certain number of columns. So this row, I've got 2 columns, okay? But we could, for example, add a row with 4 columns. And the way that you do this is, or the way that you add anything at all, is you hover over something. So I'm going to hover over this row, click on plus, and I'm going to add a new row. In this particular case, it's going to be 4 columns. And you'll see why in a second. The other thing that I want you to notice is that when you hover over pretty much anything as well, it gives you options on what you can do with that. Let's call it thing. But when I say thing, you know, I mean a container, a row, a column, or an element. And as I showed you before, you can remove, delete something. You can duplicate it, clone it. You can change the settings. You can add it to your library, which will go over probably in around 5 minutes. And we'll do the settings as well. And if you're a more advanced user, you can find out the ID of that particular element. Okay, everybody with me so far? We're going too fast, going too slow, going okay. No one says too fast, too slow, or too correct, then I shall just carry on. Now, we did make a row just now of 4 columns, and what we're going to do in those 4 columns is we're going to choose different elements to go in them. And I'll show you what I mean. Remember, to add something new, you're always going to be clicking on a plus somewhere. So let's click on the plus here so that we can add something to the column. And you'll see what will come up is a list of all the different elements that you can use, but they'll also be divided into categories on the right-hand side. So for the purpose of this example, I'm going to go to text, and I'm going to choose headline. And you can see it's added headline text here. Let's change that and say, amazing, crazy watch. And you'll see that that's appeared here. Very, very easy. With any element, you can move it around to where you want. You can move it back. And you can play with the settings. And this is what I'm going to show you with the settings. I clicked on settings, and you can change the text. You can text align. So, for example, if I wanted to left align, you can see that move. Change the font. You can change the font size. Woohoo! You can change the font style, font weight, background color if you really want, make it look groovy, and the color of the text. Let's just put that to white. And you've got more advanced settings is here. Also here, when you click on advanced, where you can do some other things as well. Something that is really, really cool is you can take any element or row or column or container and say for it not to appear either on mobile or on desktop. So if you're doing a desktop version and a mobile version and you want slight differences, then that's very, very easy to do. If you're more an advanced user and you're using classes and CSS and that kind of thing, then you'll absolutely love it because it's great to use those kind of things here. I'm going to click on save, and I'm actually going to delete that, and you'll see why in a second. Because I'm going to add something new. I'm going to go to text again. We could do subheadline, but it's exactly the same. I promise, it's exactly the same as headline. So we're going to click on paragraph. And what appears here is a paragraph of text. Yep, it's the ipse lorem dirum schmudum text. And it's really, really interesting, actually, about how this was formed, but I'm not going to go over that. But there is something very, very cool about the paragraph tag. And really to pay attention with this because it's very, very important. You see, you can click edit with editor. And if you're used to using WordPress or something similar, you'll know that you can, bold it, you can change the color, you can change the size, the usual kind of things that you do with the WYSIWYG editor. But what's really, really cool is you can click on source up here and the HTML comes up. Now, although that's cool in itself because you can edit it, it also means that you can paste in HTML into that box. So if you are a more advanced user, then you can paste anything that you want in here from somewhere else, perhaps a script or something like that. The other thing to take note of, and this is also very important, is that if you want to put a video on your page, then this is the way to do it, okay? This is the way to do it. What you do is you go to YouTube or whatever it is, you take their embed code and you paste it in here. So it's a paragraph tag, and then you click on source, and then you put the embed code in here, and it will appear really nicely. Is that clear? Are we with me? Let's carry on. I'm going to click on the plus. We've done the text, I believe. Headline, subheadline, paragraph. Media. Now you'll see here that it's got YouTube and also video as well. These are actually depreciated, and they'll be taken out pretty soon because they're not really to be used. Because as I just showed you, there's a much better way now to include video embedding there, your video tag. But image, very, very, very cool to use. You click on image and then you click on settings. Settings is like edit. And then you can find an image that you want to put in. You can upload one, you can choose from your media gallery. What we're going to do is we're just going to go to Google, I think. And what should we do? Clinton. Let's find a beautiful, beautiful image of Mr. Bill Clinton. Now, it doesn't work on all of them because a lot of the big sites now actually don't use JPEGs and that kind of thing. They use a very special kind of encrypted, you can see. Okay. This is not good. This is not good. It's fine. We'll be all right. Okay, this one should work. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Funnel Builder. You can see where it says image source. I'm going to paste that source in there, click on save, and now not only do we have Bill Clinton, but we also have Hillary Clinton. That is how you can insert an image, or you can upload it from your computer, or you can choose it from your gallery. Now, if I click on settings here, there's some really, really cool things that we can do. We can change its width and height, make it smaller, make it bigger, give it a nice background color. We can give it a border. We can do, the usual things that we can do on all elements as well. So that is an image. Let's just preview it. And we can see we've got a beautiful image of Mrs. Hillary Clinton. We've got the paragraph text, we've got Mr., and if we change this, then it will change also. Let's go back to Funnel Builder and see what else we can add. Okay, media. Basically, if you click on Media Library, you can choose from any other images which you've used before. So, for example, I've got the Mickey Mouse watch there, which I've done on a previous example. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Let's go on to form. Most of the form elements you're not going to be using on the sales page. We are going to be using opt-in just about 2 minutes, so stick with me there and we'll come back to it. But most of these are actually for the checkout page. Going to click on countdown. Now we've got 3 timers, okay? They do different things. One is a countdown to a particular time and date. One is a countdown of a particular amount of time. And one always counts down to that time no matter when it starts or finishes. If you want to use counters, which you probably countdowns, which you probably do because they're very, very powerful, come and try out the 3, come and find out what they do, and they all work in a very similar way. I'm just going to add in one at the moment. Unlike other elements, you'll see that actually it comes in a green. And when you hover over, you can actually, let's just put that in again. Choose one of the others. That's not what I wanted. Wow! Let's use the evergreen one. And you'll see when you hover over it and you click on the clock, there's new settings here. So we can do it for 2 days, 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 2 seconds. And you can even put in a URL so that when it reaches 0, they will be redirected to a particular URL. So I'm going to click on save, and you'll see that this now has changed to 2 days, 3 hours, 1 minute and 57 seconds. Let's save that and preview. And surprise, surprise, it is working on the preview page as well. So remember, there's 3 different kinds of countdowns you can use there. You can stylize like you can the other things as well. Snippets. Okay. I have to tell you, I very, very rarely use these, but some people I know do use them a lot. The main ones that I use are the dividers, because I think those look pretty cool. But there are some other things here as well, like Facebook Lights, Facebook Shares. If you want to do some nice bullet lists, and on the left-hand side, you can also just choose the category that you want. So let's put in a divider. Now we don't really want it here because you can see it looks a bit strange. So like with anything else, let's move it here. And then that looks pretty cool, I think, like that. Going to click on save. Should we preview it? See, that's quite nice. Okay, we're still on the third one. We're doing pretty well. We've done snippet, we've done library. So this is very, very cool also, and a feature that you really should be using. And I think people don't really use enough because it's just so, so useful. If you've got something that you want to use on another page, then you can actually save it to your library. And it could be an element, it could be a row, it could be a container, it can be anything. And the way that you do it is you hover over, click on Add to Library. So we're going to call that menu, and that is everything in here. And when we go to the next page in a few minutes, you'll see that I can easily add that in from the library. So stick with me on that one, and you'll see some amazing things. And the library is all the things that I've added into it previously. So you can see I've done that menu before, but you can things like shipping icons, header, add to cart, long description. But for now, let's just continue, and I'll show you how to actually put it in. Someone's asked about the price element and where that comes from. This price comes dynamically from Shopify. So if you look at Funnel Builder, I haven't actually put a price here because it replaces those things with the actual price. So it was $40, now it's $28. It was $100, and now it's $56. So you don't actually have to set that up at all. In fact, I'll show you exactly how to do that because it's on the next tab. If you click on Shopify and you click on product price, let's click on save, and you'll see if I refresh this now, it'll have the actual price here as well. So those will both change together with the page. So we're going to do the Shopify tag now. Shopify tab. And if you click on Shopify, you'll see that these are all things to do with your Shopify product. And let me show you what you can do. The one I use probably the most is variants. Let's click on variants, and you'll see that it brings in an add to cart button together with the variants as well. Now, if you remember, we don't need the second one. Sorry, the second quantity, if you were here in the beginning of the webinar. So let's just click on save, and now we've got a second add to cart button on the page. So if we change the quantity on one, it also changes it on the other. So that's pretty cool. I'll just show you that. And she's really, really not looking happy now, but that's okay. So you can have as many add to cart buttons on the page as you like. Okay. So we've done variants. Add to cart button is literally just the add to cart button without the variants. The climb button is what's used on the upsell, and when we do an upsell page, I'll actually show you how to use that. Product title you've seen, product description you've seen, product price we just used, cart bump. Well, I'll show you a bit more about that on the checkout page. Primary image is this Bill Clinton image, and that comes straight from here. And then you can see the other images that are used as well, or all of the images that are used. So you've got Bill Clinton, and you've got this mystery lady who I haven't quite worked out or remembered who it is yet. But no doubt someone in one webinar will actually tell me. Okay, I think it's time for a slight drink of water. Okay, so those are all of the elements that you can use on Shopify. I'm going to go across the top now and show you some more things. There's a save. I think you probably know what that does. There's a preview, which previews brings up a preview of the page. Hide control. Some people, I've never used this actually, but some people don't want to see these frames, so you can click on the hide control, and then it looks like a page without them. If you hover over, they still come, but they're not there naturally. Element and rows, you won't actually use them; they're depreciated. And also edit, you can just use Control Z and Control Y to go forwards and backwards. Now we've got show pop-up. Now a pop-up is actually built in to your Funnel Builder page, to any Funnel Builder page if you want to use it. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to click on view, and that's when the pop-up comes up. I'm going to click on plus, and if you remember in form, there was an opt-in. So that is now on the exit pop-up, and like with anything else, you can edit this as you like. Get free, we change that from get free report to get free book. And it doesn't really get much easier than that. I'm actually going to not show the pop-up because it really messes up all my demonstrations when I'm doing it. So I'm going to click on close and actually just close that as well. But just so that you know that it is there. When you want to choose what list people go on, then you can actually do that from settings. You click on settings and then opt-in settings, and you can choose the list. Now Funnel Builder allows you to join up to several different ESPs, email service providers, things like I think Drip and Aweber and Klaviyo, and you set that up in your main Funnel Builder settings, and we'll go over that when we go over the main Funnel Builder settings, but you can choose the list here. So we've done show pop-up, show version. Okay, now this is very cool as well. I'm going to click on save, I'm going to click on exit, and then I'm going to come back into that page. And when I click on show version, you'll see that it's saved every time you clicked on save. So we have a huge amount of saves that we can go back to if we've made a mistake or something like that. So that's really cool. And settings, okay, bundle products. Let's say that you wanted to also include a different product when someone adds the Bill Clinton watch, then you can choose, let's say, the secret clock safe. And now that will be added once someone adds the Bill Clinton watch to their cart. Going to click on delete, going to click on save. Was that a bit quick, or was that okay? That was to the bundle. So what you can do there is you can include another product as well as the main product when someone adds that product to their cart. Auto add products, I use this a lot. You can check on clear cart before add product to the cart. So what that means is that when the page is loaded, the cart is cleared, and you can choose for it to auto add a product. So for example, let's say I wanted it to add the discount HDMI USB mini projector. I'm going to click on add product, and that would be added. I'm just going to get rid of that for the moment because it confuses me when I'm doing these demonstrations, and I find that something isn't working as I thought it would because I've actually set those settings up. Custom script and custom body script, they're very similar. Custom script, you can add script to your page, that's JavaScript to your page. Custom script comes before the closing header tag, and custom body script comes before the closing body tag. And very, very simple. You can either add the script itself, you can add a list, a link to external JavaScript as well, and custom body script is exactly the same. Custom CSS, if you're more advanced and want to put some CSS in here, you can either add the CSS or a link, and it will go in there. SEO settings. This is what will appear on the search engines and on Facebook as well. You know, on Facebook, when you add a link and a certain image and description comes up. This is where it's going to pull it from. So you can upload an image, page description, page title from here, and you can also choose a Google product category from here, like so. We've done opt-in settings, discount settings. Okay, this gives you an ability within Funnel Builder to offer a discount on a particular product or the whole order. You can offer a percentage or a fixed amount or fixed shipping, and this is where you put the amount in here. I'll be honest, if you want to offer any kind of discount, it's a really good way to do it. You should come here, click on settings and discount, and read what they've got here. It's a pretty good description, and you'll probably digest it more when you read it yourself, but it's pretty easy and intuitive. That's what I'm looking for to use. What else we've got there? Discount settings. Okay, we've gone through pretty much everything for the page builder. Someone's asked me, how do you change certain things on the page? And it's actually very, very easy. If I wanted to change the logo, for example, I can click on settings, and let's try and choose something from the gallery. Let's say I wanted to choose this as my logo, then that's changed. If I wanted to change the telephone number, for example, I can edit with editor, and I mean, simply just as you may think, it's very, very intuitive, very, very easy to use as well. I'm going to click on save. I'm going to click on exit, and now we're going to. And now we're going to actually add a new page, which is the checkout page. Catherine, Mark, you've asked about an extra input. I'll try and think of a way I can do it without it being like ridiculously complicated. Kind of on a webinar, it's a bit difficult, but let me think about how I can do that. I'm going to click on add new page, and we're going to call this checkout, because I want to show you how to build the checkout. There's a number of, you should always choose the same product. There's a number of different checkouts that you can choose. The one which I always choose is the single page checkout. Now, the page builder here is very, very similar to how we had it before. For example, if you wanted to delete that, that just goes. If you want to change the text, you can actually, I think, double click it here. Free, let's change that to book. I think I showed you the page builder enough so that you should have a bit more of an idea here. There are a few things I want to show you. Do you remember we put the menu into our library? So I'm going to come to an existing element and click on the plus. I'm going to click on library. I'm going to insert the menu we just saved, and you can see it's there. And you can actually put that on every single page that you like. Like with any other text, you can either double click it or you can click on settings to edit it. And remember to edit things like here, because it's got hello at your brand, which doesn't always come across in the best way. Okay, I'm going to show you something really, really cool, and that is an order bump. As with everything, you click on something existing, or hover over something existing, click on the plus, click on, I believe it's form, and you want to choose custom cart bump. Don't choose cart bump, use custom cart bump. Just trust me on this. It's been depreciated, and I'm hoping, if Mira reminds me, because she's on this webinar, I know you're listening, then I will actually rearrange these so that we only have the ones on that we actually want on. So custom cart bump, I'm going to put that in. And what this is you've probably seen it on the order forms before, where if someone clicks on a checkbox, then something is added to their cart. For example, I think Russell Brunson does this, where if you're buying one of his books, you can click on the checkbox and it adds the audio version for $5 extra or something like that. So we can do that here, and let me show you how to do it. You'll see that there's an icon which is a shopping cart. So we're actually going to do it for an ebook. Book, make things happen. I think it is $5. So add the ebook to make things happen. I'm going to click on Save Changes. You'll see the text has changed. Let me just show you very simply what happens, and then I'll show you how to actually design it so it is a bit better. I've still already got some stuff in my basket from last week, so let me just get rid of those. And I'm going to add the ebook to make things happen. You just check on this checkbox, and that is automatically added to your basket, you can see, for the $5. Now, something that's pretty important here is that the product you choose must be online in your shop. It's pretty good with Funnel Buildr in that you can use products that aren't online in your shop, but with the custom bump product, it has to be online to your shop. As with every element, I'm just going to move that. And you can also stylize this as well. So I'm going to click on Settings. I'm going to choose a border. Let's choose a border color of red. Let's click on Save. Let's change the background color as well. And all we're doing is changing the settings here. Let's choose some kind of yellow, a light yellow. Okay, so very slowly you can actually start to make this look pretty good, and you can use HTML in here as well. Video said that please also give an example to those of us that use Shopify store instead of ebook. I mean, you can choose any product you want from the Shopify store. For example, if you wanted to choose the secret clock safe, you'll need to make sure this is online. It is online. Let's change this. So we're going to click on Edit. Let's choose the clock safe. And okay, so now if I refresh that, it will actually add the safe instead of the ebook, hopefully. Okay, did that make sense, video? It was exactly the same as you said, it just happened to be a book. I'm not even sure if it's an ebook or a normal book. Okay, good. You said yes. So that's very, very good. Okay, the next thing I want to do on this page is show you how to add a two-step checkout. We have one-step checkouts and we have two-step checkouts. For any checkout, you can either choose to have credit card or PayPal, or credit card and PayPal. So I'm going to add a new row of 2 columns. In one of the columns, I'm going to click on Form. I'm going to choose a two-step checkout. Let's choose it with PayPal and credit card. Okay, now I've actually done it underneath, so we've got 2 forms on here now. And part of the reason that I did that is because I think I pressed it twice actually. 1 second, yeah, pressed it twice. One of the reasons that I did that is because it's easier just to add than replace. So do remember that if you're doing that kind of thing. And you can see that this is now 2 steps. So if I click on continue to payment method or on payment, then they get to the credit card thing. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the checkout. Any questions on the checkout? I'll just check that I've got everything done there. I think I have. Like everything else, you can delete or change or edit. Going to click on save. In terms of what is better converting, the 1-step or the 2-step, Some people like the one step, some people like the two step. I usually use the one step unless I'm doing something kind of special, but it's worth you trying out both, split testing one against the other, and you'll see that. Okay, the last page that I want to make is the upsell page. So we'll just call this upsell. Let's choose a different product. So we'll choose the HDMI. I'm going to click on create page. And let's do the one upsell. Once again, just choosing the template, and you'll see that's brought in all of the information. The only thing that I'm going to show you here is we can add a new element. If I click on Shopify, and that's the decline button. So it happens on this page, we already have it because it's on the template. But if you wanted to, then you could add it in there. And like with almost everything else, you can change the color, font size, border. Probably want to make it smaller rather than bigger, but position, center. Okay. So I'm going to click on save, click on exit, and I'm going to go through the settings. So I've come out, I'm clicking on settings, and there's general settings. What you want to do is have as your default checkout Funnel Buildr checkout. It should already be that. Ignore the affiliate link for the moment. Put in your Google Analytics ID. If you know how to use Trackify, or if you're using Trackify, you can add it in here. If you're not, then put in your Facebook Pixel ID. You can choose an email service. We've got Aweber, MailChimp, Drip, and Klaviyo. I personally use Klaviyo. That's what I would advise that you use, but the choice is up to you. And then you connect it up and choose different lists depending on where you want people to go for when they do different things. So abandoned carts, opt-ins, and buyers. Checkout settings. You can choose between Stripe, NMI, BlueSnap for the credit card. And it's pretty easy to set up. It's pretty obvious to set up as well. And also PayPal, you can put it in here. PayPal reference transactions, make sure that's enabled if you want to use one-click upsells. If you already use Recharge, then put in the API. If you don't know what Recharge is, then don't worry about it. In terms of getting the PayPal API stuff, if you go into your PayPal account, click on Settings, and then it's either under Profile or something like that. There's something for API. We will, there is a video actually in the help section that can go over that in a bit more detail, exactly where to find them. I think it's one of Matt's videos that he's done. I'm not going to go over these upload logo, contact page URL, ignore this cart bump stuff because once again it is the depreciated stuff. Thank you page settings, there's actually very little you can do on the thank you page. You can change the text you want to appear if you want, but unfortunately we don't have the ability yet to change the thank you page very well. I'm going to click on message settings, and this is really if you want to translate a language. So if you wanted to change PayPal description to French, for example, you would say, well, I've got absolutely no idea how to say that in French, but I think you get the idea. Okay, let's go into a funnel. And we've built 3 pages. We've built a landing page or a sales page, we've built a checkout page, and we've built an upsell page. Now what we want to do is we want to put those into a funnel. The funnel is the container. The funnel is a container which tells the pages how to behave. So I'm going to click on Add New Funnel. We'll call it 11th. Click on Create. And that has been created. Now, there's something really, really important here. And if you're kind of semi-paying attention, then come back with me again. Because we have a very special feature where you can start off a funnel on a product page. When I say a product page, I mean a Shopify product page. So, for example, if you wanted people to come to, when they click on this Add to Cart button, to go into the funnel which we're about to build, you can click on products, you can choose that product. What was it called? Safe or something. Yep. And you can click on Save and Next. You choose the checkout, choose Funnel Builder checkout, and then the checkout which we actually just created, which was checkout. Very original. Click on Save and Next. Click on Thank You. So now, what will happen is, if someone lands on the product page and they click on Add to Cart on a normal Shopify page, they would come to this checkout page and then to the thank you page. But we're not going to do it like that. But there is actually something else. What you can do is you can give this particular funnel a tag. So, for example, 11, because it's the 11th today. I'm going to click on Save Settings. And now if you give any product in the Shopify store that tag, then they will go straight to the funnel when they add it to their cart. Is that kind of understandable? Shall I go over that again, or was that understandable? Okay. Plug again. I guess that means say again. Did you really mean plug again, or did you mean say again? Okay. A feature we have available is that you can start off any funnel from a product page within Shopify. What that means is that if they come to a normal Shopify product page, they click on the Add to Cart and they'll come into your funnel. So what I've done at the moment is I said if someone adds the ClickBump Secret Clock Safe from this page, which is the normal Shopify page, into their cart, then they'll come straight to this Funnel Builder checkout page instead of going to the normal Funnel Builder checkout page. What you can also do as well is give this funnel a tag. So I've just randomly called it 11. And what that means is that any product from my Shopify store that I give that tag to, for example, if I wanted to give the Mickey Mouse watch a tag 11, then now when they add that Mickey Mouse watch to their cart, they'll come to the checkout page as well, and then any upsells which I have put there. Okay, but we're not going to do it like that because we just created the landing page. So I'm going to click on Delete. I'm going to click on Pages. I'm going to click on Add Page and choose the page that we just created, which was called 11th. Going to click on Save and Next. Going to click on Checkout. Going to click on Save and Next. I'm going to click on Thank You. So what happens now? Someone comes to the funnel, and you'll find the URL down here. Okay, the landing page URL handle, and they'll go to this page. If they add it to their cart, they'll come to the checkout page, which we created called Checkout. If they check out and pay, more importantly, then they'll go to the thank you page. However, what we also want to do is have upsells and downsells. You can have as many upsells as you want, you can have as many downsells as you want as well. So how do you do those things? You click on Checkout Page. If you want to do post-checkout, you click on Save and Next. And then you'll see it says Upsell. Now, the most important thing that you can remember within Funnel Builder is that when someone says yes, they see an upsell. When someone says no, they see a downsell. So yes, upsell, no, downsell. Yes, upsell, no, downsell. So we're going to choose an upsell because someone has just bought the main product. Let's add page. Going to click on upsell to choose that page. Going to click on Save Next. Going to click on Thank You. Click on Save. So what happens now? Someone comes to our sales page. They click on the Add to Cart, so they come to the checkout page. If they say, yes, I do want to buy from the checkout page, they fill in their details, then they come to the upsell page. If they buy the upsell, they go to the thank you page. If they don't buy the upsell, they come to the thank you page as well. How about we have another upsell? So let's click on the first upsell, and we're going to click on another upsell. And that means they said yes. Going to add page, and we'll choose another upsell. Here's one I made earlier for the British viewers out there. of a certain generation anyway. Click on Save Next and click on Thank You. So now what happens is someone comes to our landing page, they click on Add to Cart, comes to the checkout page, they say, yes, I want to buy your product, so they come to the upsell page. They say, yes, I want to buy your upsell, so they see the second upsell. How about if they say, no, I don't want to buy your upsell? Then they come to the thank you page. But I want to show them the second upsell page, even if they say no. So we need to put it as a downsell. So I'm clicking on the first upsell page, clicking Save and Next, clicking on downsell. I'm going to actually choose the same 4th June upsell. If I can find it again. Yep. Click on Save and Next, click on Thank You, click on Save. So now what happens? Someone comes to the sales page, they click on Add to Cart, they come to the checkout page. They say, yes, I want to buy from your checkout page. So they see the first upsell. They say, yes, I want to buy that upsell, so they see the second upsell. Whether they buy or they don't buy the second upsell, they go to the thank you page. Or they say no to the first upsell, so they get a downsell, which is actually the same as the second upsell, because you're showing them the same. But we need to put that option in there. When they say yes or no to that, they come to the thank you page. It's slightly complicated the first time you look at it. However, there is a really, really, really good help video on this in the help section, which I strongly advise that you do take a look at before you build your first funnel, because it goes through, it's about half an hour, but it goes through it really, really slowly, and it will help you to understand what's going on a bit more. Okay, now these settings down here, the funnel title, this is the URL, which you would use, Google Analytics ID. It will bring it from the main settings, but if you don't have one or you want to have one specifically for a particular funnel, you put it in here. Same with the Facebook Pixel ID. Tag name, what I said before, which I put 11, and you can use that on as many products from the front of the store as you like to answer your question. And here you can choose mailing list for this particular funnel. Click on Save Settings, and I think that's about it, actually. If you've got any questions, then now is the time to ask them, because we are going to be finishing off in just a second. Just to go over a couple of things from the pages, you can see the icons here. It's preview, you can edit, you can export, so you can import somewhere else, you can duplicate it, clone, you can see statistics, or you can actually delete it. And it's pretty much the same thing with funnels as well. The other thing that you can do with pages is actually import. You can only import Funnel Builder pages, of course. You can't import any other kind of pages instead. Okay, I think I've answered all of the questions. If there is anything else that you've got to ask, you can either go to the help section, you can go through the help desk, where we'll always be happy to ask. You can ask in the Funnel Builder Facebook group, or if you want to just contact me directly and message me, then that's fine as well. So I just want to say thank you very much for coming to the orientation tonight. I hope that it was understandable, not too fast, not too slow, not too correct as well. And I strongly advise that you do start using Funnel Builder. It's a great tool. I use it myself. I think I'm one of the top users, actually. And it's really will help you make a lot more money with any Shopify store that you are using. So if you haven't signed up for it, then I strongly advise that you do go now while it is fresh in your mind and go and sign up for Funnel Builder at getfunnelbuilder.com. Okay, getfunnelbuilder.com. Okay, so thank you very much and good night and farewell. We're going to end the webinar, so thank you very much and goodbye.